Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to my Ocarina of Time 80% tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at the Gohma part of the Deku tree. This video will focus all on double KO and Gohma Clip and all its various methods, and it'll focus on everything you need to set up prior if you're going to do Gohma Clip. I know before we looked at the strategy, the different B1 strategies in the last video, and I just wanted to kind of talk about if you're planning to do double KO, which means you're going to kill Gohma on the same frame that you die. You need to be aware that you can't just backflip like you normally would and fall down this web. You actually have to burn the web because you're gonna make, after you've done the double KO strat, you're gonna make your way back here. So there's two ways to do that. Generally speaking, you go up to this little box, and the first one I'm gonna show you is called flame storage. Basically, I'll make a little save state here. You run over this, you slash it, and if you're lucky, it's not really lucky, but if it's going well, you roll over, you're trying to slash like on the torch itself, and if you pull out your stick, there you have fire. And so now if you wanted to roll, it would burn the web and you'd be able to make your way down here. And that's important because the next time you come down here, like after you've killed Gohma, you'll start back at the Deku tree, and then you'll have to do another kind of B1 skip to get back down here, and you'll need the web to be burnt. So that's the first method. Again, you're just kind of lining up, you don't even have to see up, and then you just like run forward and slash like on the torch. I'm not doing the best job of it, but it's pretty simple. It takes a bit of practice, but clearly I'm not getting it. Again, I don't ever use these strats anymore just because I have no use for them. But yeah, you're slashing like just a bit below where the actual fire is, and that's how you do it. The second strategy I'll show you is if that doesn't work, this is slower, you can push the block twice, climb up on it. Again, just sort of line up with the torch area. You can see up if you want to. And then run over here and pull out your stick just as you're kind of falling forward. You just tap the stick really quickly. So again, I'll show you that one more time. You're getting up here. You're going like this, lining up, running over, pulling out the stick at the last minute, and the stick is just high enough to hit the flame. And then again, you just roll the burn the web however you want by rolling, pressing R, whatever, and you make your way back over here. So that's all you have to do after the B1 skip if you're planning on doing the Gohma strategy, like the double KO strategy. Now, after you've done all these scrubs, I'll show you what the actual strategy looks like right over here. So here's what it's going to look like. Okay, so now that you're down over here and you're just about to fight Gohma, you'll notice that I actually have half a heart of damage right now. Now, that was intentional because when you're going to try to kill Gohma, if you're doing this strategy, you need to die on the same frame that you kill her. And in order to do that, you need to have enough damage already dealt to you that when you take damage from Gohma, it'll kill you. So you need to get your health down to half a heart. So just before this, I would have taken some damage from the fall, both down to the B1, and then a fall again from the scrubs. So if you by some like chance don't actually have the right amount of damage done to you, you can actually just walk up to Gohma and get a bit more damage like during the fight, so don't worry about it too much. But that's just kind of a prerequisite for this battle. Then you're going to jump slash into this cutscene, and the reason for that is when you jump slash, it stores the value of damage. Like when you crouch stab like this, I'll show you what it looks like. Whatever attack you did just before that, it'll do the damage of that attack. So a jump slash with a Deku stick does 4 damage, and now your crouch stabs, like these things over here, do 4 damage as well. So we're gonna enter the cutscene for Gohma, and all of our crouch stabs are going to be doing 4 damage, which allows us to kill Gohma like way quicker. So right off the bat, you can see like if I were to drop it, like do this, we'd kill Gohma just in 3 stabs, right? And this is especially useful to us because Gohma only has, I think, 10 health, so you can kill her with, like if you stab her twice and then jump slash her just with a regular sword, she'll die. And you'll be able to just kind of beat it in one cycle. So what that looks like is as Gohma's coming down, you're going to drop a Deku Nut, and then you're going to crouch stab her once. Oops, I'll just try this again. Wasn't close enough. Crouch stab her once, and then quickly drop another Deku Nut, crouch stab her again, and at this point, you're just going to jump slash right into her. And it's that simple. So just nut, crouch stab, and then jump slash into her. Not too difficult. I have seen some of my friends try to do this, and they've actually had more trouble with it. I think I'm just kind of used to it, but really, it's just, you know, walking up, dropping a Deku Nut, stab, Deku Nut, jump slash. Oops. Okay, wow. See? I guess if you're not on the right facing angle. It's really not hard, though. Like, when you hear that little scream of Link go like, ah, that's him dying on the same frame. and then you just kind of roll through the Gohma little death cutscene, and see, there you go, Link has died as well. And what you need to do here is just hit no and yes. It's just asking you, do you want to save? You could save, it doesn't really matter. I just always hit no. And then you end up back here, and now it'll show you how to get back down to the Deku tree, because you need to do that in order to do wrong warp and all that stuff. So here's the video explaining how to do that. Okay, so you've just killed Gohma, and now you're back at the Deku tree because you died on the same frame. Well, now you need to get back to Gohma's room to do a wrong warp, and the quickest way that I would say to do that is to do a Megasidehop off of the Deku Baba. Now how you do that is you hit to the right, side hop twice to the left, roll once, roll twice more forwards, side hop 3 times to the left, shield, then roll forward and side hop on the same frame that the Deku Baba hits you. That can be pretty complex if you watch it, and it does take a bit of practice. This setup is by far like the best way to do it, in my opinion. It just puts you in the exact right position you want. And once you're like here, you just want to have the first hit kind of from the Deku Baba hit you, and then you're going to time your roll by pressing A, and then as it's coming towards you, like side hop. And it's like, I think there's a few frames to do it. It feels like 2 or 3 frames. To kind of do that roll, and you're kind of like in the exact right position for it to do it, so it makes it a lot easier. And then you should kind of recoil all the way back here if you're doing that. The other method that I see some people doing, and I used to do myself, is kind of like the method you should do if you're really good at B1 skip, is basically you line up over here on the right. You see how kind of like this is like the exact tip of this shape. You line over here. You could even Z-target this Deku Baba if you want. I just kind of line up like this. And then from here, you hold Z, and you side up to the left, and you're going to slash right around here. Oops, I missed it. Again, I don't ever do these strats anymore, so I'm really kind of rusty. There you go. It's a very similar frame to the B1. I think it's around, let me just see. I think it's like around here. Once you can start to see the black, oops, so probably earlier than that. I think it's like, yeah, before you can see the black stuff. Like, what I mean by black stuff is like, you see how like you're slashing just as it as you hit like the kind of black texture, like just after it, I think, on the wall. And this just kind of takes like fiddling, because honestly, I don't know. I don't use this, like when I did use this double KO method, I didn't really use this strat, but it's kind of like a similar thing to the B1. It's sort of tricky because it's, I think, frame perfect, but with practice you can get it. And it's just like, I unfortunately don't know the frame, but you're basically slashing, from what I can see, just below the black texture. So you're timing it so that like as you're approaching that, as you know you're gonna approach the kind of black texture on the left side, you hit B. Honestly, when I overthink it though, I miss it. It's usually just like if I just kind of get a feel for it. So that's the other method. Those are the two ones, the Megasidehop and the Deku Baba. And I'll show you what, let me just find the save state, what to do if you fail the Deku Baba. 1 second. Deku tree after double KO, yeah. I'll show you what you do if you fail it. So here's what you're going to do if you fail it. Basically, you're going to hit, get back in the setup. Oops, I hit shield there by accident. Okay, so side hop to the left, roll twice forward, side up, side up, side up. And you roll and you miss. Oh no, and you side up to the right. Now you can do a few things. One, you can try to get back into the position. One way that helps is the Deku Baba kind of like puts you in the position. So you can just get hit a few times and then try it again. Oops. But if this happens, then you've kind of lost your angle as well. Now, you haven't technically lost your angle. You could still try it exactly the same. Let me see if I can get it. Your camera's inverted now, and I think a lot of people will find this a lot harder. So I wouldn't kind of suggest this. So if this happens, you should just kind of like try to bail on the angle and like line up right in the kind of the edge here, even like this. Or if you wanted, you could even just go out and try the entire setup again. This kind of like, you lose a lot of time if you're gonna miss it. So sometimes like if I miss that angle, like if I gonna get hit by the Deku Baba and miss the side hop, like this, if I actually completely lose the angle, I might just bail and try the other method. But sometimes you can kind of keep trying it, since like there's nothing stopping you. It's just like you're in a less optimal position. And then from here, obviously, you just make your way down into the little kind of tunnel. There is a way to west out of that, but it's kind of complicated, and I feel there's not as much of a point learning that in this category, because if you're going to learn the west, you you might as well just be doing Gohma Clip. So that's your goal, just to get back to here. You can use either the Megasidehop or you can use the other method. They're both kind of tricky, but after some practice you'll get them for sure, and the setup helps a lot. So that's double KO. Now we gotta move on to Gohma Clip, which is significantly more difficult, but definitely my preferred method. So hope that was helpful. Okay, so if you don't want to do double KO and you're looking for something a bit faster, the better alternative is to do Gohma Clip. But in order to do Gohma Clip, you need to first understand a concept called ISG. It looks like this. It stands for Infinite Sword Glitch. We covered this a lot in the last B1 video, if you watched that for the ISG B1, but this is also used in the Gohma Clip strategy, and it's used in the Ganon fight. So this is a trick that is basically mandatory for this run, even if you don't do Gohma Clip or the ISG, because you have to fight Ganon with the ISG B1, because you have to fight Ganon with it. So what you're doing is you're basically crouch stabbing and interrupting that crouch stab with a text box. And the easiest way to do that, the most effective way, is to use it off of an enemy. So basically I am crouch stabbing, like so, and then quickly hitting Z target and C up. And if I do that like quick enough, it allows my sword to infinitely swing. And the reason this is useful for Gohma Clip is that, well, there's two reasons. One, it allows you to kill her because you use the stick. And the second reason is, like, and more importantly, is that it allows you to hover, because if you, if you're in the air and you kind of shield damage, well, okay, first of all, if you have ISG, you're no longer able to jump. Like you can see, you can't fall off of edges. You're able to kind of hover in midair. If you are stopped by if you shield the damage source in the middle of the air, you'll actually end up hovering. And we saw that in the last video with the B1 skip, like, over here, this little ISG B1, you'd fall down on this little Skulltula, and that would cause you to get, would cause you to hover in midair. Same thing with when you broke this web, you're able to hover in midair. That's because you have ISG. Like, that wouldn't work if you didn't have it. So, oops, I messed up. I didn't expect it. There's no web. So that's the first trick you need to know how to do. It's basically just, it's pretty simple. You're just stabbing and then hitting C up really quickly. It's not that easy. It does take practice. Also, if you press R without Z, you're gonna lose it. So keep that in mind as well, like when you're trying to attempt Gohma Clip. But that's the first kind of mandatory part of the clip in order to do it, and you gotta understand that if you want to do Gohma Clip. So now I'm gonna actually show you Gohma Clip and how to do. Let me just find Gohma Clip. I have all these save states. Gohma Battle. Is there anything before Gohma? Enter Gohma. This is probably fine. Alright, so now that you're gonna fight Gohma to do this Gohma Clip strategy, the other thing that's important about ISG is, much like the crouch stabbing with double KO, ISG, because it's built off of a crouch stab, stores the damage you did just before in its swing. So if you do a jump slash with a Deku stick into the Gohma cutscene, just like before, you're going to store 4 damage on your Deku stick, which allows you to kill Gohma really quickly. And it also, depending on the setup, that kind of thing will always factor into the damage you're doing, but it can be based entirely on ISG or a different method. So in order to explain Gohma Clip, I'm first going to show you right now the basic strategy. And before I get started, I'm just going to show you what it looks like right here. So this is what Gohma Clip looks like. Okay guys, so you just saw the Gohma Clip in action. You notice it's probably pretty similar to the double KO method in the beginning, but it deviates pretty quickly with the whole ISG and backflip and stuff. So right off the bat, I want to say the 3 things that matter in Gohma Clip are your positioning, or Link's positioning, Gohma's position, and the frame that you're backflipping on. And making sure all those are in line is really important, and I'll kind of get into detail why. So to start off the trick, you're dropping a nut, and you're stabbing, dropping another nut, stabbing. Very much like the other trick you did before with double KO, except at this point, now you're going to walk back and get ISG. There's a second movement option that I'll show you in a second, but for now, we'll just do this one. So you're walking back, you get ISG, then you want to hold kind of down left and make your way into this corner. This way, you can see that Gohma is now like kind of chasing you, and her eye is just a bit to the right of Link's head. That's how you kind of know that she's roughly in the right spot. The second thing is you should be holding Z and R and back at this point, and if you're doing that, like I said, Link's position matters as well. You can see how Link's sword on the left is in the right corner. That means that Link is in the right position. You sort of like see how it's clipping on the left side, like it's just a bit in the wall. That means Link's in the right position. So Gohma's in the right position because she's following you. You kind of went back diagonally, and you can see her eye is just a bit to the right of Link's head. And Link is in the right position because he's in the corner, he's turned around, and his sword is in the wall. So like I said, the last thing that matters is the frame. And I'm going to post a little link to this kind of list of every single frame that Gohma has. But basically, what you're looking for is for Gohma's eye to be totally open. I'm going to try to pause buffer to it. I'm so bad at emulator pause buffering. I'm sorry. I'm not used to it at all. Okay, this is the frame right before it. So you'll notice like Gohma's eye is almost entirely open. And then one more frame, if I can get to it. I miss VC. Like, okay. This is the frame you're looking for. So you can see right now I'm holding R, I'm holding Z, and I'm holding back. And right now I'm just going to mash A to backflip. And if done correctly, you should clip through like this. From here, you're going to walk down. Notice how there's a hump, like the wall is there and there's a little hump. You want to walk just below kind of the hump around like here. And then you're waiting for Gohma to walk forward. Because if this is the wall, Gohma is this water bottle, and she's kind of right in this position, and you need her to take one step forward so you can drop a Deku Nut and jump slash her and actually have your sword clip through the wall. If she's back here, your sword can't touch her because the wall's in the way. So what you're doing is you move a bit back, and only a little bit. You don't back walk all the way away, or she won't bother chasing you. Just enough for her to take a single step forward, and you're listening for that single step. Then you drop a Deku Nut and jump slash. So let's listen for the step. Okay, she just made it actually. I kind of paused a bit late. So did you hear that kind of like boom? It's like a thump. I'll play it again. So from here you just drop a Deku Nut and jump slash forward, and that's it. You've just successfully done Gohma Clip. You just had to combine a bunch of things at once. So like I said before, there are personally I found Gohma's positioning the hard part of the trick. So one way, so there's kind of two movement options that you can do to make sure you have it. The first movement option I'll show you, because I already showed you the kind of walking backwards and diagonal thing, is taking, instead of walking away, is taking a side hop to the left, and then after this side hop, getting ISG like this. From here, I'll make a little save state just in case we lose this. ISG left. Okay. From here, you're just gonna like roll over and walk straight towards the corner. That way, like, you know you're going to be in the right position because like Gohma's just following you directly into that corner, and that's what the side hop does. It just kind of gets you in the right position. And then from here you can see again Link's sword is in the wall, Gohma's head is a bit to the right. Now I wait for the frame and I backflip and I got it. Then again, like I said before, let's see if we can hear the thump. You walk back a bit, and that's the noise you're hearing, just Gohma taking a step. You drop a Deku Nut, and you jump slash forward. Now you notice in that instance, I actually did the trick unbuffered. I just kind of like waited for the frame. That takes a lot of practice. It's not something easy. This is a frame perfect trick. You're waiting for a specific frame. So if you're starting out on this, especially if you're learning it, don't try it unbuffered. Just try to kind of do it frame by frame. One other thing, so like those are the two kind of movement options. The first one is to do the kind of side hop wherever. I'll go load it again. And the second option is kind of to walk back, like I said before, like this. But the one other thing I would recommend if you're really having trouble and you want to, wow, come on. There you go, ISG. Is get Gohma to fall down like this. This happens if you're just close to Gohma and not doing anything. She'll jump down and kind of like her eye will go red and rock back and forth. And now's the time for you to run directly into the corner, because then Gohma will have stayed in place, and so you're in the corner, and she has to follow you right to the corner, so it guarantees that she's in the same spot. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this in runs unless you're still kind of nervous about the trick, because you want to avoid Gohma stopping like that. It wastes a lot of time. But if you're practicing and you're worried that the positioning is wrong, what you need to do is do that. Like, get Gohma to kind of stay in place, get ISG, then run right to the corner, and Gohma will still be doing her weird kind of red dance thing that by the time you're in the corner, she'll just chase you directly there. That's how you know you're in the right position. Then it's pretty easy to know that Link is in the right position just because of the sword thing, and you're able to get the trick. So the final thing, I just messed up there kind of on purpose, that you need to know about Gohma Clip is if you mess up, you can try again. With Gohma Clip, you just need to be holding to the left. So if you mess up, you kind of go back in the corner and you hold to the left the whole way there. So all these kind of frames, and here we are, one frame before. And you can try it a second time as long as you hold left until the very last backflip frame, which I'm going to try to get to. Good God. I hate pause buffering on this system. There we go. So notice how I was holding left. I missed the first one, but I was going to get that one. Oh my gosh, that's weird. Was I just not holding left properly? I'm going to try that again. Let me just... Okay, so... Not really sure what happened there. So Gohma's in the right position. We mess up the first frame. Now we want to be holding left the entire way. And just waiting for that right frame. I'll get this frame just so. One more. Okay, and now we're going to backflip right here. And if you see, it worked again. All you had to do is hold left. You can do that trick unbuffered too. Any trick you can do pause buffered, you can do unbuffered. So like, you missed the first one, you can just hold to the left and backflip and try it again on the second time. But after the second time, if I were to miss again, like say I went one late and then, or just got hit, now it's unlikely you're gonna get it a third time. Notice how Link's sword is kind of out of the way, like it's kind of changed its position. Link's been kind of pushed over, and so the clip isn't gonna work anymore. So in terms of a speedy attempt, you only really have 2 tries. But if you're kind of stubborn and you want to continue the run, most of the times the run would be over here. You can keep trying. So I think that was what, the 4th try? You can keep trying, and on the 8th try, I think it is, you'll get it. As long as you're holding down, you keep trying. So trying again. I think this is the 6th try. Maybe I should make a save state. Okay, I think it's this one. Yeah, see? So on the 8th try, you can get the clip again. So just count it if you want to keep trying. And you can maybe even practice the frames unbuffered. But yeah, on the 8th clip you can get it. Obviously, again, that wastes a ton of time. But that's kind of Gohma Clip in a nutshell. The positioning matters. Link's sword's got to be in the wall. Gohma's got to be eye to be just to the right of Link's head. And then I'll post the frames that you need to be on. It's just a single frame. It's a hard trick. Eventually, when you get it, you'll get it unbuffered. So now we got to move on to the more advanced methods of Gohma Clip. They're very similar, they're just kind of saving time in a little bit of ways. But if you're a beginner, this is the Gohma Clip method to go. Either do the kind of side hop to the right and run to the corner, or hold down left and run to the corner. Hope this was helpful. Here are the advanced strats. Thanks for watching. Alright, so you know how to do the basic method of Gohma Clip, but now I'm going to show you methods that are faster and not easier, but like some of them aren't too much more difficult. Basically what you're doing is, again, you're jump slashing in the cutscene how you normally would, except for one shot setup. But basically they all start the same, so I'm going to just show you the introduction to how the tricks look, because they all start the same, and then kind of what you're going to do after the clip. So to start off, rather than kind of dropping a Deku nut and all that stuff, you barely need any Deku nuts here, you just need one. What you're going to do is get ISG, like this. With your stick, by the way. So it's kind of the same thing. You crouch, use the stick button, whatever C button you've assigned it to, and then interrupt it with a text box. So notice I have this to ISG. Then you're going to run to the corner. Ideally, you're not going to have Gohma pause if you do it fast enough. You backflip and pull out the sword. That's how you kind of just do it sort of normally. And then you're in the exact same position you were with the other Gohma Clip. You're just ready to get kind of the clip, and you do it unbuffered. These tricks I would recommend doing unbuffered because the buffering itself saves enough time that, like, if you're going to attempt a harder strategy, you might as well not buffer it as well. That's just my kind of 2 cents. But you can still, you know, again, it doesn't matter. You can still attempt this unbuffered. And so from here, this is where the variations occur. After you've done the ISG, you've gone to the corner and done the clip, these are where the kind of methods change. So here is the first method, which is a side hop method and my preferred one. and I'll kind of break it down sort of in slow motion. This is what it looks like, and then I'll show it again in slow motion, so check it out. Okay, so here's the intro of the trick again. Like I said before, it is going to be the same for every advanced method. You just stick ISG and you walk over here. But now I'm going to slow it down. So the first thing after the clip you want to pay attention to is the positioning that I'm in. It's the same as the basic Gohma clip. You go through and you walk about a foot away from where the hump ends, so just over around here. Then you pull out your stick, because you're going to be using your stick to kill Gohma. You don't slash it or anything, you still want to have ISG, and now you're waiting for that stomp noise that she makes with the same basic Gohma clip. After you hear the stomp, drop down a Deku Nut, and then you're going to do these side hops, and you're not going to mash A really quickly. These side hops have a bit of a rhythm to them, and you should be hearing them kind of hit like Gohma, like click, click, like you can, I'll play the whole thing in full again. But with the side hops, you want to have Link's feet kind of shuffle to the ground each time he does the side hop. Like you see how his feet on the bottom move just a bit each time he does the side hop? That's kind of what I usually look for to make sure that I'm getting the timing right, and I just kind of get a feel for it after a lot of practice, but it is not just kind of immediate. You have to kind of space them a bit each time, and it's fairly easy once you get used to it, but it does take practice, and that is the side hop method in full. So here it is all again in full speed. You're going to watch Link do the little backflip, wait for the stomp, drop the Deku Nut, and then side hop. That's at full speed, guys, so make sure to practice that. Alright, so much like the other one, this setup again occurs the same way, and I'm going to just show it full speed. This is the roll setup. Okay, so here it is again in slow motion. Now you want to pay attention to the movement I'm doing right after the clip. So I just clipped there, and now you'll notice I'm holding to the right, and I'm trying to line up with this kind of like little texture. You see that black texture that my foot is near on the right side? That's about where you want to stand. Then you pull out your Deku stick, and after the stomp, you drop a Deku Nut, and you roll forward. Just right forward. And this one is significantly more difficult than the side hop method because the last roll is frame perfect, so it's a lot harder to get this consistent, but it is 0.2 seconds faster according to Cosmo's timer. So here it is once more. Again, I'm just holding to the right and I'm waiting in that little position near that texture, the black line, and then I hear the stomp, I pull out my stick. Well, I hear the stomp now, I drop the Deku Nut, and I immediately move forward and roll once, twice, and on the third one it has to be immediately after the other roll, and it's just my Deku stick hitting Gohma through the wall. And that is the rolling method, so hope that is helpful. Now on to the final method. Okay, on to the final method of Gohma Clip. This one is the slowest and the oldest, but some people still use this strat. It requires very, very quick inputs, and so it's personally not my favorite because there now exist, in my opinion, easier alternatives, but I'm going to slow it down for you now. So immediately after the clip, the first thing you want to be doing is a backflip and then quickly pulling out your stick. So here's the backflip, and I quickly pull out my stick. Then I do a jump slash so that I have the jump slash value. Then I hold left and crouch stab the wall to get in the right position. As soon as I hear Gohma stomp, I drop a Deku Nut and run up to stab her. Drop a Deku Nut again to stab her, and then I immediately run up and do the last stab. And that one has to be quick. That's the hardest part of this trick, is you stab, nut stab, and then quickly run up and do the last stab. So I'm going to sort of slow it down. I'll show you again kind of slowly. Now the reason that I don't like this trick as much as the other ones is that you have to do a lot of inputs really quickly to get the same effect as the other tricks. Like, see, you're backflipping, jump slashing, hitting the right angle, dropping, making sure you can do all the stabs as quickly as possible. Whereas if you compare it to the rolling method, you just end up in the normal spot you would for the easy Gohma clip, and then you just have to do the side hops, and that's it. There's no special position you have to be in. You don't have to do anything super quickly. It's not like nothing is frame perfect. It's the easiest method in my opinion by far. Like, to show you again the rolling method, this is definitely the fastest one. Cosmo timed it, it's 0.2 seconds faster than the side hop one. But you notice you have to be in that specific position to roll. And then the final roll is also frame perfect. So the side hop one of these three methods is the one I would recommend, since it's super consistent and you just don't have to worry about positioning at all. You just want to be in the same position as the Gohma clip just to get Gohma to take one step forward. So that is all the three advanced methods. I hope this was helpful, and now on to the outro. Okay, so this concludes our Ocarina of Time 80% tutorial focusing on Gohma and the Deku tree. The next video will cover Wrong Warp in a lot of detail, and finally the Collapse and Ganon splits in the video after that. I hope this video was helpful. Gohma Clip is a trick that can be kind of tricky. It takes a lot of practice, and it's something that I, to this day, still find Gohma is definitely one of the hardest parts of the run, because there's just a lot of things that kind of go into it. It's a frame-perfect trick, it's tough, but eventually you guys will get it with practice. If you guys have any other comments or questions about these strats, I'll make sure to kind of respond to you in either the comment section below, or you can PM me on Twitch, or anything like that. If you liked what you saw, I do any% runs, so follow me on twitch.tv/MichaelRadar. I'm going to be doing any% no RBA, no Wrong Warp very, very soon. And, you know, subscribe to the channel if you liked it. So, hope this was helpful to you guys, and look forward to the next video. See you guys later. If you haven't already checked out any of my other videos, just make sure to click on one of these videos for the section that you want to see. Not really sure why they're glitching out, but I can't seem to get it any other way. So yeah, just click on there. There's Escape, Kakariko, Bottle, Enter, Deku Tree, etc., etc. Just click on one of the other ones to watch it.